Nigeria's ruling party, the All Progressive Congress, has applauded President Bola Tinubu's administration for setting new standards for inclusive governance, uniting the nation. Lagos spokesperson of the APC, Mr. Seye Oladejo, who made this remark in a statement, said the president deserved greater support. And according to him, President Bola Tinubu is building a Nigeria where every citizen, regardless of tribe, tongue, or faith, feels seen, heard, and valued. He said the party was dismayed by the recent efforts of what he called disillusioned opposition to change the narrative of an unprecedented inclusivity in governance across various sectors. Oladejo said 2 years into this administration, it is evident that President Bola Tinubu has gone beyond the limitations of ethnic, religious, regional, gender, and partisan lines to offer Nigeria a leadership style rooted in fairness, representation, and meritocracy. We shall be taking a look at this and more issues as it affects the polity. Join us this morning is the chairman of All Progressives Congress in Cross River State and the National Secretary Forum of APC Chairman in Nigeria, Mr. Alphonsus Eba. A warm welcome to you, sir. Thanks for joining us on Breakfast Central. Hello. Good morning, Mr. Eba. Thank you so much for your time.
Good morning.
We're happy to have you this beautiful Wednesday morning.
Good morning. My pleasure to be with you. Good morning, Nigerians.
Yes. Now, there's been a lot of criticism of the president's cabinet and also his appointment. They say it's lopsided, and a lot of his appointees are from his geographical region of the country, the southwest region. There are also raised eyebrows about the distribution of projects. They said the southwest, especially Lagos, is getting a huge...
Hello.
Yes, can you hear me, Mr. Eba?
Hello.
Hello. Okay, we seem to be having some connection issues. Please, can you respond to me if you can hear me? Are you with us, Mr. Alphonsus Eba? Okay, we'll try and sort that out with our technical crew. But there's quite a lot to unpack here. Olive, the government says it's the most inclusive government in the history of Nigeria that we've seen in recent parts. The spokesperson for the APC in Lagos made that claim. And the APC the opposition is saying, no, it's not true. Numbers don't lie. The appointments we see, the things we're seeing, the projects tell a different story. But I believe Mr. Alphonsus will be in a better position to address these issues. But let's try and reconnect with Mr. Alphonsus Eba. Hello?
Sure, I can hear you.
Oh, fantastic. Let's get straight into
your question again.
Let's get straight into it. Now, the opposition and a cross-section of Nigerians are saying, you know, this President Bola Tinubu's government is quite nepotistic in terms of appointments. They've said it's not diverse at all. They say the Southwest, especially the Yorubas, take a huge chunk of the appointments. And they said even in the projects that the government has commissioned and is undergoing, that a huge chunk of it is skewed towards Lagos and Southwest Nigeria. How do you respond to that? Because the APC is saying this is one of the most diverse governments in Nigeria's history.
Let me say this with the fear of God. I am one person, a critical member of APC, that has, in different fora, had cause to set Cross River State out as one of the states within the federating units that has not had a very good share of the appointments being churned out by Mr. President. But those are in the areas of strategic positions like executive secretary, managing director, director generals of BIRD. This is about Cross River State. That is not to mean that in terms of geopolitical collocations and spread of appointments, Mr. President has not been fair. He has been very, very fair. But when it comes to the South-South geopolitical zone, Cross River State has not had its fair share. I said so before. And to be called upon on national television to throw more light on an issue which appears to be coming from opposition, I will say the opposition is not correct because Mr. President's appointment is across all geopolitical zones. But for that which has gone to the South-South region, the leadership of the South-South, like I said in Benin, needs to have a leadership conclave so that the weaker line, Cross River State, that has been reduced in terms of wants can be considered for these three critical positions. In terms of projects, Mr. President has been overfair. I think when the opposition came up with an argument the other time that the northern part of this country was not carried along in terms of project execution, the spokespersons of the presidency came out very clearly. And today we can see that it is on a 52 to 48% in terms of the north, not minding that in the last 8 years, before the last 2 years of Mr. President, power has been in the north. Mr. President is a fair-minded person. Yes, when we raise concern about balancing of appointments, it is only for Mr. President to do more, but he has been nice, and I must commend him.
You say that when you raise concern about the balancing of appointments, that you want, it's just because you want the president to do more, but that he has been nice. I'd like you to explain further what you mean.
Yes. What I mean that he's been nice, he's been fair. He has been just to all the geopolitical zones. So to come up and say everything is Southwest, it is not correct. Because today, and I take you back memory lane, in the last administration, and this is not to deride the person of the former late president, he was called upon while he was giving some paltry percentage of appointment to some geopolitical zone. And he said, you do not expect me to give 97%, give percentage of appointment to an area that gave me 3% votes, as against an area that gave me 97%. But today, take the Southeast, for instance. The total votes that came out from the Southeast region of Nigeria was nothing to write home about. Yet, Mr. President has been very fair. A crucial ministry like Ministry of Works, Science and Tech today that holds the passion of everything, Minister of State Finance, and so many others are in the Southeastern region. In addition to some critical positions, Smedan is there, to mention just a few. That is to tell you the fair-mindedness and the broad-mindedness and the large heart of Mr. President. He is all considerate and very inclusive.
Okay. I mean, there's some that might argue that inclusivity might be used as a political slogan, that it's something that is thrown around and might not be practically reflected. But that's a different reality. Would you say that, inclusivity is actual inclusivity if certain societies and certain communities, for example, are also complaining about being marginalized? And do they not have a right to express such concerns? And do they not have a right to have those concerns being addressed?
I started by telling you that I am one of the persons that complained about some critical positions not coming to Cross River State. That was not to criticize. That was to draw the attention of Mr. President. That our dear President, you are doing well. But please, in the case of Cross River State, we do not have a managing director position. We do not have an executive secretary. We do not have a director general. And these positions are over 200-300 when put together. And we have only 36 states and Abuja FCT. Please look at the case of Cross River State. That is to draw the president's attention. It is not as if other positions have not come to us. We have other positions like board membership. I'm a board chairman. But you see, full-fledged executive positions resides in the version of MD, executive secretary, or director general. And these are very strategic. So drawing the president's attention to that, I have been told the president will soon do something about it, and I am relaxed. So when people raise concerns that they are being marginalized, I do not wish them away, because perhaps they could be speaking from a very sincere point of view. But when you say opposition, the work of an opposition is to oppose anything that is good. Today, you can see that there is improvement in terms of economy. Non-political actors like Okonjo-Iweala, people like Dangote, people like Otedola are coming out to speak, to say the economy of this country is good.
But what about
doing well? But the opposition will tell you.
If Okonjo-Iweala and Dangote and Femi Otedola are coming out to say that the economy is doing well, what about the regular Nigerians who have to board public transport every day, who have to go to the local market to purchase things to eat? What are they saying? Do you know what they're saying?
Let me also tell you, there is also relative improvement in that sector. Last year, August 1st, Nigerians across political and religious divides gathered not just in the name of opposition parties, but came up to say there was hardship in the land. A tuber of yam that last year went about 9,000 naira. Yala local government, where I just come from, we celebrated New Yam on the 30th of August. The biggest tuber of yam is within 2,500 to 3,000. Average size of yam between 1,000 to 1,005. The economy is moving well. People will not come back to speak to this. A bag of rice that went to 130,000. Today, local bag of rice is between 50 to 60,000, while the foreign rice is between 63 to 70-something thousand naira, depending on the quality of rice that you want to buy. Today, a basket that used to be about 60-something thousand is within around the range of about 24,000. So beans, a mudu, has also come down. Gari that went about 40-something thousand is at the range of 16,000 a basin. These are practical issues because I am a farmer, I am a trader. I relate to the downtrodden. So I can give you this as a fact. Yes, what people have complained about is the purchasing power. And we agree in totality. When Mr. President came up with this policy of saying that we are removing subsidy, we are removing subsidy on dollars and on petrol, he did say that it will bring initial pains, but these pains are going to be temporal. With every passing day, these pains are being attenuated with the reflation of the economy. And all we can say to Nigerians, we are sorry for the pains it brought initially, but please bear with us. The economy will get better. By this time next year, I will sit before you to tell you the new indices that would have changed for the best for Nigerians. We can only say thank you, Mr. President.
Okay. I mean, Nigerians are listening now and decide if they would, how they feel about that. It's important that you've mentioned that although a number of those figures you've called, I bought yam recently. I've not seen where they're selling yam 1,500 to 2,000 naira. The cheapest yam, the old yam.
Where did you buy?
I bought my yam.
Where did you buy? Is it the old yam or the new yam?
So there was the old yam and there was the new yam. The new yam was going for 4,500 and the old yam was going for 9,000 naira.
I don't know where you come from. I'm from Cross River State. Be buying from the market in Cross River. It is very cheap.
So, have you factored in my transport fare from Lagos to Cross River?
That is why the CNG arrangement of Mr. President will also very, very soon bring down the prices of transportation. You see what Dangote did recently by trucking petroleum products. Yesterday, I went to MROS. The same fuel I bought some time ago for 1,400 a liter. Only yesterday, I bought for 800 and something naira. This economy is getting stabilized properly. The price of things are going down. People must praise Mr. President. Just commend him. When you commend a leader, he does more.
Okay.
Let's leave opposition.
So again, I want to go back because I want us to talk on the reality of what the everyday Nigerian is. And I hear you when you say things are coming down. right? And the prices of things are coming down. But I think when you say that, what Nigerians would typically say is coming down from where? Where was it before? Was it as expensive before? It only became that expensive, not pre this administration. Yes, subsidy was taken away. And as a result, every single thing skyrocketed. Price of fuel, price of food, people couldn't afford the basics. So things have come down, but still not to the reality that a number of people can afford. Again, you made reference to purchasing power. Purchasing power has reduced greatly. Minimum wage, we're still arguing with minimum wage. Many people not even still being able to earn the minimum wage. Not enough states have been able to still pay this minimum wage. So we hear when you say that Mr. President says that things will get better, but then again, the average Nigerian will ask, when do we see this reflected? But that's another question for another day. Except you want to respond to that before I ask my next question.
Let me take from the last question. I will offer free legal services to indigents of any state that their governor is not paying minimum wage. If River State, where I come from, that we lost our oil wells, and with a debt burden of almost 300-something billion, our governor can afford to pay minimum wage and do so much in terms of social intervention, like he gave 10 billion to retirees for, how do you call it, recently. And is doing so much, can pay minimum wage. There is no state in this country that should not be able to pay. And I say I offer free legal service. Take your governors to court. And I must thank Mr. President. When we met on the 24th of July, he told the governors of APC that people are still complaining. I know how much I'm giving to you. 3-4 times what you used to earn. Please go and wet the ground more. Again, I join Mr. President in saying, states that have not paid minimum wage, please, I appeal to you. Please pay, or else, whether you're in APC or in any party, I will provide free legal services to make sure you are taken to court to implement that, because the law of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Getting down to the question you asked, where were we? Let me say this, and I'm saying this with the fear of God. It takes only a God-ordained leader like President Bola Tinubu to take a decision which is counterproductive to his political popularity, but which was meant for posterity and the growth of Nigeria. We were going nowhere. It was a phantasmagorical economic practice where we were spending 97% of our revenue on debt servicing and payment of salaries, printing money in the name of defending the dollars, and we succeeded in printing 33 trillion. The concatenation of this economic malady was what kept us, and Mr. President had to redirect our misdirection. Now at least we know where we are going. For some months running, the dollar now has been stabilized at the range of 1,520 something, from the 1,800 something that it used to be. Don't forget, we took billion euro bond in the name of defending the dollars. This whole thing and the printing of naira and the payment of fraudulent subsidy on petroleum products is what came together to put us when Mr. President has now brought us back. Now, it should rather be commended.
Mr. Alphonsus,
we will get there.
Yes.
We are not yet there, but we are going there, okay, and we'll get there.
Let's talk about the human development indices. World Bank, you did mention Okonjo-Iweala, Femi Otedola, and Dangote. I mean, these, like my colleague said, these are not ordinary Nigerians that you would use as a matrix to measure how the economy is doing, because the bulk of Nigerians, the majority of them, are in the hundreds of millions, and according to World Bank estimates, over 104 million Nigerians live below the poverty line. And some of the policies of this administration and its reforms have actually widened inequality. What steps is the current APC government doing to create, to prove inclusivity in wealth creation and also providing and making sure that all these benefits trickle down to the most vulnerable Nigerians. And also education. We currently have 20 million out of school children. This is UNESCO statistics from 2024, which is, I mean, an indictment. It's the highest in the world as we speak. So how can the APC defend its inclusivity claims when millions of children are out of school? I mean, this is just basic education.
You have only asked me a question for which Nigerians must now pour encomiums on Mr. President. Hitherto government, we ate our today yesterday. That is the end result of the hardship that came. But for a visionary leader like Mr. President, what did he choose to do? First, from the educational line. To BEB, primary education to junior secondary has been free. The other 3 years you have for a secondary education and to swim into the university. We have something called NEL Fund today, Nigeria Education Loan Scheme. No Nigerian child has any excuse again to say, I dropped out of school because of money. Mr. President has addressed that. In terms of the power, financial capacity to purchase important, crucial items for your survival, the Credicom has come to close that gap. In terms of the poorest of the poor, the social register is there, doing conditional cash transfers to homes. In terms of what can take us out of the wood, I am a farmer, and I sit on national television to again move from my political evangelism to another economic evangelism. People must know that if you go to farm, if you cultivate what you need to eat, you'll be contributing to the GDP of this country and be solving the hunger problem in your house. That small space in the village, plant cassava, plant tomatoes, plant okra, plant yam, grow maize, grow soybeans, grow cocoa, grow oil palm. I am doing all this. Keep poultry, keep livestock. I'm a herdsman. And today the return on this makes me financially stable. So I carry this message. Please, for areas that are not so prone to militancy and insecurity, I encourage people to do. Why again, I must commend the recent action of Mr. President, because his full-blown mechanization arrangement can only thrive in an area of security. I therefore commend his official declaration yesterday that we are now ready for state police. State police is the way to go. We must stop insecurity to the barest minimum or eliminate completely. And all these things are steps that have been taken to address this melee. And I must assure you that we will get there, and we are almost there.
I think NEL Fund will can address the issue of 20 million out of school children, and NEL Fund is primarily open towards students in tertiary institution, and we need to also talk about the quality of education. But let's talk about security and defense. The current administration has the largest defense budget ever in the history of Nigeria, and we're still grappling with insecurity in different parts of the country. How do you reconcile that? How come we're seeing record defense spending and it doesn't translate to a more secure life for Nigerians?
I think you will agree with me. Anytime I speak like this to challenge journalists, you are in a better position to assess the insecurity situation in the country. And you will agree with me that there is serious improvement in the war against insecurity. It will not be won overnight. Even in advanced countries, we still see elements of insecurity going on. Yes, Mr. President is doing well. The budget is justified. I sat down and listened to the Chief of Defense Staff last week, and he gave practical indices that tells us what has been achieved. I listened to the National Security Advisor, his report, and the advancement and success that has been made in capturing some of these high-level kidnappers and insurgents is encouraging. I know that there are still more to be done. And that is why I commend what Mr. President declared yesterday, that the way to go is more improvement in terms of the will of the security agencies, but more so, it is time to consider state police, which I must commend all governors of this country. Majority of them have voted in support of that. I only pray and I urge that we must put the lives of Nigeria above politics so that it is not politicized. That is going to be my only advice to our governors.
Just to respond to what you've said, 6,800 people killed in insecurity-related incidents in H1 2025, a 19% increase compared to H1 2024, where we had 5,715 deaths. This is according to SBM Intelligence Security Report. Again, 4,672 security incidents in H1 2025. Well, that looked like a 1.08% drop from H2 2024, but 9.21% higher than H1 2024. I can go on with numbers if you want me to explore kidnappings and ransoms, regional hotspots, but unfortunately we're out of time for this conversation, and I do hope that we can have a part 2 to this conversation. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.